Hi, I'm Phil Roeder, Director of Community Relations for the Des Moines Public Schools. School leaders from around the state are buzzing about a new idea that will go to the legislature soon. That idea is the creation of a statewide 1-cent sales tax for our public schools. Today, we're going to discuss what this means for Des Moines. It's all coming up next on this very first episode of Classroom Connections. It wasn't long ago that presidential candidates could be found throughout Des Moines. Now state legislators are back in our city as work is underway in the 2008 Iowa General Assembly. Joining us today is Dr. Nancy Sebring, Superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools. Education is always an important issue here in Iowa, and the legislature, of course, is always important to what happens in education. Tell us a little bit about the priorities that you see at the legislature this year and what some of the things you hope will happen at the Capitol.
Well, of course, we've talked about this already in the fall with our board, and we have communicated to our legislators that we do support certain measures occurring. One is setting the allowable growth rate at 6%. We're very optimistic about the statewide sales tax, which we're hoping that they recognize the need for all school districts in Iowa to have a permanent source of funding for school infrastructure. That could also result in some property tax relief for our community members here in Des Moines. And we want to continue to push for access to quality preschool for all 4-year-olds in the city.
The statewide sales tax issue has been in the news quite a bit, getting a lot of attention lately. What does that mean for people in Des Moines? They know about the local option sales tax. What does it mean, though, to create a statewide sales tax?
Well, first and foremost, it would mean equity for our students. We have a number of schools that have not been renovated, both within our district and, of course, across the state. We see that there are great and significant needs out there in support of school infrastructure. So we really believe that this community and this state support education and want to have quality facilities available for all of our children. We do hope to, in Des Moines, to finish the work that we started a few years ago when the sales tax was initially approved. We do have some major renovation completed. We have fabulous facilities for all of our students in those renovated schools that can be used year-round. And we want to continue that work to make sure all of our students have access to quality schools. We will have 25 schools yet to renovate, and in our district, that equates to 13,000 students still needing improved schools that really are modern environments for learning and provide the kind of school setting that we want for both our staff members and our students and families. And third, ultimately, of course, the strength of the school district is the strength of any community, and we want to make sure that people want to live and work and reside in Des Moines. And a big factor in making that decision is to be assured that there are quality schools in place both at the present time and in the years to come.
People that are a little cynical or they simply don't understand what this proposal is about might think that the statewide approach is to avoid having the local voters vote on this again. Is that the case? Is that what this is about?
No, that's not what this is about. Iowans are strong supporters of public education, and we've seen that demonstrated in that all 99 counties have approved the sales tax. There has never been another issue in the state of Iowa that has had universal approval by all counties, and we see that as a real vote of confidence that we are doing the right thing for our students in this state and that we're doing it in the right way. So we really think that our voters have sent a very clear message that they're ready for this to happen statewide. We do know that the state would require that school districts propose a plan as to how the money would be used and spent, and that the public would have an opportunity to weigh in on that if they felt that that plan wasn't complete or thorough or appropriate. So it does allow for voter input into this process. And at the end of the day, it's really critical for two reasons. One, it gives school districts in Iowa long-range financial opportunity to create and maintain the kind of schools that all of our children deserve. And secondly, we really think that children's education is not where we should be playing politics in this state.
For the average taxpayer, is this an increase?
No, it's not an increase, actually. It just is about maintaining the current sales tax. I think that there has been some confusion about that issue. In addition, there is a provision in the proposal that provides property tax relief for homeowners in Iowa. And finally, there will be lower taxes on utility bills. Under this proposal, the sales tax on residential utility bills will be only 5%.
Well, finally, this issue has been brought up in the past. It was discussed a little bit at the legislature last year. Of course, it didn't go anywhere. Is there more confidence? Are people feeling that this has a chance of going through the General Assembly in 2008?
Actually, yes. I think taking the temperature of school leaders across the state in the meetings that I participate in, people are very optimistic. We had a meeting of Polk County superintendents and school board members recently. There were several legislators in attendance. We talked about the impact to schools statewide and countywide with the approval of this sales tax statewide, and we were very pleased with the kind of responses that we got. Our legislators are certainly listening to us, and we're feeling very optimistic.
Well, thank you, Dr. Sebring, for joining us on Classroom Connections and helping people understand some of the legislative issues that Des Moines Public Schools will be looking at this year. Next time, we'll talk with Dick Murphy, Chair of the Des Moines School Board, about the priorities he and his colleagues have in 2008. I'm Phil Roeder. Thanks for tuning in to Classroom Connections.